What's up, guys? How's everyone's day going? I am heading to a location to make a delivery. So I actually had a chance to make a video today. I didn't got to bed. It was pretty late last night, so I didn't do my video after the game. So here we go. That was a pretty bad scare that we got from Tony. Took that hit from behind from Cliff Averill. I wouldn't consider that a dirty hit. You know, Romo was running and Cliff Averill came behind him and tried to strip the ball, and Romo fell and landed a little awkwardly. Twisted his back. Bent his back a little bit. He seemed in a lot of pain. It was kind of a scare, but maybe if it were maybe Kellen Moore or maybe Jamil Showers that was backing Romo up, I'll be a little worried. But I wasn't really worried at all. Dak Prescott again came out. All cylinders, they were running, and he's thrown 5 touchdowns in the preseason alone. Threw for 100 yards again. I'm comfortable to say, Dak Prescott, he could be the future. Excuse me. Ezekiel Elliott came out physical back. I mean, I was a little surprised at how he came out. He was taking the hits, and he laid one onto Cam Chancellor and said, "Hey, I ain't scared of you," which is good. He was jawing around a little bit, telling those guys the defensive guys for the Seahawks that he wasn't afraid, he wasn't intimidated, and that's the best. They said on the TV that they're the best defensive unit in the league. Ranked top 3, I believe. He did good, and he ran for 48 yards on 6 carries. I think it's like 6.8 yards per carry. I mean, great vision. He's put his foot in the ground in one of those runs. Made the cut to the inside, and then that's when he laid that hit onto Cam Chancellor. I think Cam Chancellor appreciated that too much. So he laid that late hit on him. Drew a flag. Well, maybe, I don't know if he did on purpose or he just thought the ball was uncatchable. It was a little bit behind Elliott. So but hey, drew a flag and got the Cowboys a first down. Another guy that I did say on my pregame video was Malik Collins. There was one play that caught my eye where he timed that snap perfect. I mean, it was like right on the money, and he jumped. He got a good jump, and he put a little bit of pressure. That was one play that really caught my eye. Jack Crawford, he did okay. I just thought that he could do better. Like one of the guys said yesterday on the cast was that he's more suited as a rotational, which I agree. I don't think he's an every down defensive end. I know he played a little bit of defensive tackle. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what they're gonna do. Defensive unit, man. Outside look, the back end looks good, but man, we need a pass rush bad. I mean, Tapper and Collins, they have to step it up. They're 3rd, 4th round picks. We didn't have Tyrone Crawford. He's a big part of that line. So he's out with a concussion. They did have a few injuries that were by concussion. You know, Tyron Crawford's one and Dez was the other. It was kind of a disappointing to me for Terrence Williams. You know, he has to use his hands more. You know, he had that ball dead right. You know, had a little bit of room, and you know, he should have went up and raised his hands up and went for it. Safety looked good. JJ Wilcox, you know, I think he may be the odd man out. You know, he's just having a hard time finding angles, and you know, he struggles in coverage. So that other rookie running back that I do like, I don't know if they may bring him back to practice squad. It's gonna be Jackson. You know, and they may bring him back in the practice squad. You know, they have to the 30th to cut down from 90 to 75. So we'll see what happens there. So I don't know. See what happens. On the offensive side, Tyron Smith did come back. He got a few snaps in there and looked good. The offensive line looked really good. You know, the 3 plays that Tony was in there, he did okay. I just don't, you know, it starts to worry me a little bit that, you know, his age. Tony's age is, you know, he's 36. He's not like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, who went so long, but it's just, you know, his age is, he's had 2 back surgeries. I think that's gonna be the X factor for Tony. He needs it may be almost time for him, you know, maybe time to hang up his cleats. You know, some of y'all would disagree. I'm just saying, you know, it may be time. You know, he may have a little bit of fire left in the gut there that he wants to get rid of. But I don't know. See what happens with Tony. You know, I'll be praying for him to get better. You know, 2 weeks still till the season. Looking forward to it. You know, I will be in Dallas. I will make a video right outside the game and see how that goes. But anyways, back to Tony. So, but the 3, I just think that, you know, it may be almost time. You know, but I'm comfortable to say I think Dak Prescott will fit in nicely with the offense the Cowboys have. He makes it look easy. I don't, it's crazy. But you know, on the other hand, he is being a quarterback behind the best offensive line in the league. I mean, he's making it look simple, which is good. Then on top of that, he got Ezekiel Elliott, Alfred Morris, Darren McFadden, and maybe Les Dunbar. And then with Jackson, but he'll be practice squad. I mean, it's crazy how he makes it look easy. He has the weapons around him: Dez, Terrence, Beasley, Witten, Swain. He got James Hanna. You got Gavin Escobar. I mean, I think it's time. You know, their weapons in the offense is right. Defense, all we just need is a better pass rush. You know, or I remember one of the commentators saying that Jason Garrett did preach. He preaches just attack. Don't worry about the sack. Attack. The sack will come to you. And I do agree, and I will be telling that to my kids that I will be coaching here in a few weeks. We'll see how that goes. But a pass rush is you know, it's highly needed. I mean, Cowboys do need it. So we'll see what happens. Another thing I did want to get to is Ezekiel's pass protection. Man, he looked good. The play where Romo got hurt, he upended that. I guess it was that linebacker upended, and you know, that's when Cliff Averill came around. You know, it's unfortunate, but Zeke he's not scared to pass block. You know, he's just doing his job. which is great. You know, he can do the pass blocking. You know, he's a versatile back. Can catch out of the backfield. You could line him up into the slot receiver. You can motion him to the other side. I mean, he could do everything. And just like all these other commentators said, all NFL Network, ESPN, you know, everybody, he's the perfect back, and that's great. So we'll just have to see what happens with coming up in the next preseason game, the final game against the Texans at home. They don't know, maybe Zeke may get a few carries, you know, 10, 12 carries, you know, or a few snaps actually. They don't want to overdo it for him. He's still off of that hamstring injury, which didn't even look like he had an injury. So we'll see what happens. One thing for sure that did stick out to me the most is that, you know, with Dak, his composure in the pocket. I mean, he sat there for, you know, you can't sit in the pocket from maybe about 3 seconds without having pressure in your face. But with Dak and the offensive line the Cowboys got, man, he sat in there and he just got a survey of the field and, you know, let the ball go. There was one pass that did float, that did sail a little bit on him, and that one to Cole Beasley when he was running the crossing route. That was the only pass that I thought he may have rushed, or he sensed the pressure coming. But other than that, he looked really great. You know, I think it's going to be coming sooner than later, where Dak will have to come in and take over for Romo. You know, one thing that I noticed with Romo is that he was a little mad about having to come out, but Garrett put his foot down and told him no. You know, it's only for for Tony's, you know, well-being. He could have got another injury, and then that would have been it. No more Romo. Cowboys had to figure something out, get another quarterback. You know, Kellen Moore, he won't be back till like maybe October, November. So it's only for Tony's own good. You know, 3 plays. Hey Tony, I'm sorry, but it's for your own good. We love you. I mean, you're a hell of a quarterback. You got fucking balls of coconuts, because you're a tough guy. You're a tough quarterback. You play with heart, and you're a hell of a team leader. And we couldn't ask for any better quarterback. You know, I know some of these analysts will say, you know, Romo's not an elite quarterback, and, you know, he hasn't won the Super Bowl or anything like that. But oh well, we got to deal with it. I mean, he has to deal with it, but he has to prove everybody wrong. You know, I'm not gonna say they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I can't. I won't. I want to see it during every week. I want to see it. I want to see it, and, you know, see how he comes back from that kind of a running. Season starts September 11th at Dallas against the Giants. I will be there. Like I said earlier, I'll make a video of being out there. I won't be able to upload it till I get back onto the Wi-Fi. I'm looking forward to it. So I gotta get going. Please smash that like button. And remember, thumbs up. Please subscribe. You know, more subscribers will help me out, the better. I appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all next time around.